So I was not here last week. I was in Vegas last week, and so I didn't really get to do my lives because I'm going to be honest, my internet was poo poo. So, not good internet makes not good lives or an incredibly frustrating experience, right? So, anyway, here I am. I'm back. Now, what we're doing today is we're talking about personal brand, right? So, personal brand and how to be able to make a personal brand or grow your own create your own personal brand without goofing it up, right? That's what we're really going into right now. And so, how we do that, you guys, is well, first of all, let me just address something, right? So, personal brand has been something that, I mean, I've done it since I started, right? Since I started this whole crazy, I don't know, career and whatever, it's all been from personal brand. And it's literally what I teach you guys. It's what I teach in HBR. I teach you, growing 7 income streams from home using what you already know via a personal brand, right? And it's so simple to do. But anyway, there are people like I'm not gonna call out names. I'm not gonna call out names right now because that's not the point. It's not the point, guys. But there are people that are massively successful, very, very, very successful in their own rights that have kind of like they've looked at personal brand as something that they don't really have to do, and so they bypass it, right? And still were successful, which is great, except late last year, a number of them, and I love how they're so honest, but a number of them came forward as saying, okay, now it's time for me to double down on my personal brand because I understand how valuable it is now. Because the thing is when you're not running with a personal brand, you're running at really kind of push marketing is what it's called. It's an old school thing to do where you just kind of like bludgeon people with a buy this thing, whatever, and some narrative and some storyline, because good marketing is always narrative and storyline, but not with a hey, I know that lady, right? Or hey, I know that guy, or I align with that guy on this, and this. They couldn't possibly have that. So the whole, people only buy from folks that they know, like, and trust, that's an age-old thing. That's what personal brand is built on, right? It's developing the ability for people to know, like, and trust us. I mean, it's everything. It's literally everything. But people that were just sort of doing this, ads and narrative and just the marketing machine, they're now realizing that that doesn't work as well anymore. And so they were seeing decline. And so then they realized they needed to move into personal branding, which is where we already are. We meaning you and me. If you're in HBR and you're doing this thing with me, first of all, holler if you hear me. You know what I'm saying? Like HBR this time around, HBR started in 2020. 2024 version of HBR is fire. The strategy was already there in 2020. The 2024 version basically does everything for you. I'm walking you through how to get everything done for you. And you're not spending a lot of extra money in order to do that. You're not hiring people to do things for you. I'm literally helping you prompt it out with good, valuable prompts. I give you a full-on like dissertation on who your person is, what they're looking for from you. It's like 40 to 60 pages, guys, depending on the niche. But it's like 40 to 60 pages. And then what we do is we use that document to create everything else. Guys, it gets like so easy. There has never ever in life been an easier way to be able to grow your personal brand and start monetizing immediately. I mean, we were monetizing in, what was it, week two? Week two. We started monetizing in week 2. It's a 12-week program where I walk you through the 12 weeks, right? But people were monetizing in week 2. When's the last time you bought a course and started making money in the second week? I'm just saying. Anyway, so personal brand. So these folks are realizing they need to move into my hair is kind of just crazy this morning. They realized they needed to move into personal brand, but the beauty here, you guys, is that we're already there, okay? And so now I'm just going to talk a little bit about how to be able to use it, how to be able to, grow and run your personal brand without accidentally goofing it up. Really getting into the accidentally goofing it up part. Oh, it's incredible. Thank you, lady. HBR is amazing. I'm so far behind, but can't wait to get caught up. I'm learning so much. Heck yeah. Hey, Karen. Yeah, and Darlene's only behind because she's been working, like she's been overworking for the last couple of weeks, or the last week at least, in travel. Oh man, I will just put up your little HBR is amazing. I love you guys. All right. So how to grow, how to define your personal brand without goofing it up, right? What I see most people goofing up when I'm just going to play with my hair here on video. What I see most people goof up whenever it comes to personal brand is who they're talking to, okay? So a lot of times if people come from, say, the network marketing world, they believe that they're talking to the customers, all of them, of that network marketing company, okay? So that's one way in which I see it goofed up in a major, major way. So like I work with a specific network marketing company, and most people, the way I described it not too long ago was, if you were to poll people as they come out of, the annual convention, if you were to poll people and say, who do you serve? Who are your people, right? They would all say the same thing. And it would be something around about, people interested in health and wellness, people that want to be able to have safe products for their families. But guys, it's all the narrative of the company, right? There's nothing wrong with the narrative. The company has to have a narrative. It's a good narrative for a company. But it's not a good narrative for a personal brand. Okay. A personal brand should be, who do you serve? Based on what you have been through, what you can help people with, a specific niche. I had somebody ask a question on one of my coaching calls the other day, and they said, can I get too niche? Can I focus in or drill in too much? My answer to you is no, absolutely not. Because the more that you drill in on a niche, the more they're going to be like, there's no way she's talking to anybody else but me. But if you were to say, well, I help, everybody feel better. Well, people that see that messaging are going to be like, what do you, like, but how, but what? None of them are going to be like, oh, well, she'll help me feel better because she helps everybody feel better. Nobody feels like that. But if you say something like, and I'm going to mention lupus, okay? If you say something like, I help other people, so I put my own, and this isn't true about me, but I'm just saying this as a narrative, okay? I put my own lupus in remission. So I show other people what I did. Now, you can see that anybody that has lupus is going to be like, I need to know more about what you're talking about, right? So even though you could say, based on the company, even though you could say, well, I help everybody feel better, I help people with natural products, I help people get toxins out of their homes, and da-da-da. What you're actually saying is, I am in remission with my lupus, it is no longer an issue for me. Here's what I did. The other people that are exactly like you are going to follow you. And if you want to, let's do this. You can Google How many people have lupus? Stay signed up. 1 in 2,000 people, about 1.5 million Americans, this is just Americans, about 1.5 million Americans have lupus. And there are an estimated 16,000 new cases each year. I don't know if you can see that or not. Well, does that sound like a market to you? Because people's fear is always, oh my gosh, if I only talk to a specific kind of person, then that means my market is smaller. They don't think market, but they think the amount of people that it's going to resonate with is going to be smaller. Well, yes, it will be smaller, but the thing is, people have this idea of the law of large numbers being on their side. And they're like, well, if I talk about health and wellness, law of large numbers tells me that more people will see it, hence, bigger net, more fish. Here's the deal. Not true when it comes to this. Not true when it comes to human behavior. The law of large numbers doesn't work that way. What works this way is that the more focused in and finite that you get with your what I call bat signal, the more focused in and finite that you get, the more people are actually paying attention to you. So now you're finally getting eyeballs where you weren't getting eyeballs before. You were creating content, but nobody was paying attention. If you find yourself in that place, you need to be an HBR stat. We start another one. There's a cohort running right now. We start the next one in May. You can still message me and get in. And we have payment plans right now because it needs to be paid off by when it starts. But we have payment plans available right now that aren't usually available because we've got a long runway until it starts. Okay, so if you want to reach out to me, we can get you into HBR. If you're creating content and nobody is seeing it or nobody is reacting to it and you feel like you are just banging your head against the wall, you need to be in HBR. This is my lane. This is what I do. Okay. Now, whenever you have those people's eyeballs, so when we talk about lupus specifically, and lupus is, I mean, it's not the biggest thing on the planet by any means, but you have 1.5 million people in America alone. That's a massive market, guys. If you talk about lupus in America, in English, speaking English, and you're talking about it, you're going to have potential eyeballs around that are looking for specifically that, and they know that you can help them. Now, what's the bonus on top of that? The bonus on top of that is that even if I don't have lupus and I see that you do and have helped people and blah, 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 if I know someone that gets lupus or has lupus, who do you think I'm going to send them to? If you're doing things the way that I teach you to do them, they're going to send them to you. That's how you grow your business. In a grassroots, community building, heart-centered, service-first way. And so I'm even talking to, like, for folks that are in network marketing, and you may not be, and that's fine. It still relates to you. But for people in network marketing, they put their company first, and it's the worst thing you could possibly do. Because now you're just a billboard of the company. You're not actually building your brand, your personal brand, which will then exponentially build your business. Exponentially. Because that is why somebody would sign up with you rather than the millions of other people that also sell the same products you sell. Does that make sense? You have to set yourself apart from everybody else. And so that's like a way to get into personal brand where you guys can understand why it matters so much. And also why it's so successful. And I think the coolest reason, and then I'm going to pop out of here, of why it's so successful is because we actually get to lead with things we know a lot about. Things that we've been through. We know what's going through our person's head. We know what they're thinking. And when I create your report for you, 9 times out of 10, I get a message back that says, oh my gosh, it's brought me to tears. This just made me cry. Because what I do is I'm reminding you of who you were. Because as humans, we don't remember pain the same. We don't remember pain as it actually was. We tend to romanticize it as we move out from it. We don't remember how bad it was. But when you see these reports, you will remember where you were, which is exactly where you're going to go serve the next person at, which is ministry. I love you guys. Adios. Bye-bye.